Hello everyone, we have another two-player starter set, Wraith versus Knight. And this is actually the Final Fantasy III starter deck, so that's really cool because I just finished that one yesterday. Oh, Cloud of Darkness, you were really not that hard. And yeah, the other guy is the Onion Knight, and the Onion Knight is actually the first job that you get in Final Fantasy 3. And I do have to say, I really enjoyed this game. I mean, back in the day, it wasn't released in English until it's somewhere in about 10 years ago, 15 years ago or something. Was translated into English for the 3DS. But yeah, before that it was never available in English, and it was really weird. Because I played all sorts of Final Fantasies. I knew something about most Final Fantasies, but not Final Fantasy 3. And I actually finished that one yesterday, and I have to say, it was quite a very nice experience. Very good game. Quite emotional with, all of those characters dying. Really silly. Alright, so we start off here with the enemy of Final Fantasy 3, the end boss, the Cloud of Darkness. For 3 we have a forward. At the end of each of your turns, remove the top card of your deck from the game. Cloud of Darkness gains plus 1k power for each card removed by Cloud of Darkness ability. When a Cloud of Darkness leaves the field, add one card removed by Cloud of Darkness ability to your hand and put the rest of the cards into the break zone. Right, so we get 3 of those. Then we get Terra for Final Fantasy 6. I have never played Final Fantasy 6, so I can't say anything about that. I know it's supposed to be quite a good game, but I don't know. Never played it. So for 4 we have a forward with EX Burst. When Terra enters the field, choose one summon in your break zone. Add it to your hand, and when you cast a summon, choose one forward opponent controls. Deal it 2000 damage. Then we have Ace, type 0. When Ace enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Choose one forward opponent controls. Deal it 5k damage. You may pay 3 fire. When you do, choose one forward opponent controls. Deal it 9k damage. Wow. Then we have Ayame for Final Fantasy 11. It's a samurai, it's a forward. It has Brave, and if you have received 5 points of damage or more, Ayame gains plus 3k power. Frit for World of Final Fantasy. Don't know that game either. Well, it's an Ifrit by the looks of it. It's a forward, and Frit is also a monster in all situations. When Frit is put into the field into the break zone, you may search for one card named Ifrit and add it to your hand. We have Selfie. We saw that one last time as well. It's from Final Fantasy 8. It's a backup. For 2 fire and a doll, choose one attacking forward. It gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn. Black Mage from Tactics Advance. For 2, we have a backup that says 2 fire and tap. Put Black Mage into the break zone. Choose one fire summon in your break zone. Add it to your hand. Nice. Ifrit. Nice. From Final Fantasy 8. Summon EX Burst. Choose one forward. Deal it 6k damage. Phoenix. Ooh, look at the art. Beautiful. For Mobius. It's also a summon. Choose one forward of cost 3 or less in your break zone, and up to one forward opponent controls. Play the former onto the field, dull, and deal the latter 8k damage. And as we can see, this is a full art. And you have also the regular arts here. Ifrit from the Cydia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Summon EX Burst, choose one forward, deal it 7k damage. If Ifrit results from an EX Burst, deal it 8k damage instead. Kefka, also from Final Fantasy 6. I know this guy, but I don't know about him because of Final Fantasy 6. But it's a forward with EX Burst, and when Kefka attacks, Choose one forward you control and one forward an opponent controls. Break them. When a character opponent controls is put from the field into the break zone, you may pay 1. And when you do, draw a card. Shantoto, Final Fantasy 9. It's a forward. If your opponent controls 7 or more characters, the cost for playing Shantoto onto the field is reduced by 3. When Shantoto enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Choose one character of cost 3 or less in your break zone, play it onto the field, or choose one character of cost 3 or less an opponent controls and break it. Ooh, nice. That's a cool looking card. We have another Cecil or Cecil or Cecile. From Final Fantasy IV, of course. And this is, pre-transformation. He's still a Dark Knight. It's a forward, and this is also full art. With EX Burst, and when he enters the field, choose one dull forward opponent controls. If its cost is equal to or less than the damage you have received, break it. And then Dark S, I still don't know what the S means. Choose one forward. Cecil deals 1 damage, 1 point of damage. Oh, deals you 1 point of damage. Oh, right. If the cost of the forward is equal to or less than the damage you have received, break it. And then we have the regular version. Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. When Vincent enters the field, you may put one backup you control into the break zone. When you do so, choose one dull forward. Deal it 8k damage. Zoom. S, lightning, 1 and dull. Choose one backup of cost 3 or more. Break it. Then we have Rydia, also from Final Fantasy IV. She is the summoner. And she's a backup. When she enters the field, you may search for one summon and add it to your hand. Fitting. We have a miner for Final Fantasy XIV, backup. When miner enters the field, choose one backup in your break zone, add it to your hand. And then for 2 and dull, put miner into the break zone, choose one forward in your break zone, add it to your hand. Momodi for Final Fantasy XIV. Oh yes. I think I remember this one. I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV. I believe so, yeah. It's a backup. For 0, choose one forward you control. It gains Brave until the end of the turn, and you can only use the ability during your main phase, and only once per turn. Okay. Geomancer for Final Fantasy V. A standard unit. It's a backup. For 1 lightning and dull, put Geomancer into the break zone. Choose one forward. It gains plus 2k attack power until the end of the turn. And finally, we have the last summon, which is Carbuncle. From Mobius. Choose one forward. It gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn. If its power has become 9k or less, return Carbuncle to your hand. So that's it for the Cloud of Darkness deck. Now on to the Onion Knights, which you start out with, and if you level your job all the way up to 99, it is said that Onion Knight is quite powerful indeed. But I haven't had the patience to do that. I did level some of my jobs, but not the Onion Knight. Onion Knight is a forward, and when it deals damage to an opponent, you may search for one card named Onion Knight and put it into your hand. It has Blade Torrent, S. Until the end of the turn, Onion Knight gains plus 1k power, haste, first strike, and brave. A Meteor, S and dull. Choose one forward, deal a damage equal to Onion Knight's power. So we have 3 of him. Then we have Vaan from Final Fantasy XII. It's a forward, a Sky Pirate. When he enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Play one forward of cost 3 or less among them onto the field. Then shuffle the other cards revealed and return them to the bottom of your deck. If you have received 5 points of damage or more, perform this action twice instead. Kain! friend of Cecil. He's a Holy Dragoon. A Holy Dragoon. I still have him as a Dragoon. Right, he's a forward with haste. Kane doesn't receive any damage except battle damage. Then he has Gungnir, S. Until the end of the turn, Kane gains plus 5k power and first strike. Then we have Onion Knight for Final Fantasy 3. But this one is a ninja. Interesting. Also a forward. When he enters the battlefield, choose one forward, deal it 3k damage. When Onion Knight enters the field, choose one card name Onion Knight of any element, except wind, in your break zone, add it to your hand. Then job change Ninja S. Place Onion Knight at the bottom of your deck. If you do so, search for one card name Onion Knight with job Sage and put it onto the field. Alright, so what was the initial one? Oh, that's actually an Onion Knight. Alright. So this is the Ninja. We have a full art one and two regular one. Adele, Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift. Alright. It's a forward with haste. And for one wind crystal, Adele cannot be blocked this turn. We have Hope. What's this? Pictologica Final Fantasy 13. I don't know what that is. If you control a job father and a job mother, Hope gains plus 2k power and Hope cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. Then we have Nora, which is also Final Fantasy 13. And let me tell you, I have only played it once. I tried to play it again a long time ago, but I really despised Final Fantasy 13. I just couldn't get through it again. I played it once. It was enough for me. It's a backup EX burst. When Nora enters the field, you may search for one card name Hope and add it to your hand. Penelo, Final Fantasy 12, the dancer, the backup. EX burst. When Penelo enters the field, you may search for one card name Van forward and add it to your hand. Moogle, Final Fantasy 11, nice. Backup, it has Retrieve, S, and Dull. Search for one card and add it to your hand. Ooh, that's nice. Well, at least I don't know what S is, but that's really nice, I think. Bartholomew is the father, Final Fantasy 13, also a backup. And when Bartholomew enters the field, you may play one card name Hope from your hand onto the field. Therefore, 2 wind crystals and Dull. Put Bartholomew into the break zone. Choose one forward, activate it. It gains plus 1k power until the end of the turn. Diabolos. Oh, look at that. It's a beautiful art, and it's full art as well. It's from Mobius again. It's a summon, and select up to 2 of the 4 following actions. Either choose one forward of cost 5 or more, break it, or choose one forward of cost 4 or less. Until the end of the turn it gains plus 1k power. Or activate all the forwards you control, or activate all the backups you control. Nice. We get 2 of those, one of which is full art. Lightning, yes, the heroine of Final Fantasy 13. Forwards, and during this turn, if you attacked with 2 or more forwards you controlled, the cost for playing lightning onto the field is reduced by 3. Crushing Blow, S, and Dull. Choose up to 2 forwards, dull them. Draw 1 card. Ramza, Final Fantasy Tactics. Backup, when it enters the field, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 forward, add 1 backup, and 1 summon among them to your hand, and put the rest of the cards into the break zone. Oh, that's cool. So for 2, you can dull it and put Ramza into the break zone. Choose 1 monster, break it. Okay, that seems rather powerful. Really nice. We get 3 of him, so that's cool, or her. Onion Knight Sage. We read about it. Another Onion Knight, and it's a Sage. I don't get it. You can only be 1 job at a time. But this is also from Final Fantasy 3. Forward, and when the Onion Knight enters the field, choose 1 damaged forward. Deal it 5k damage. We have Lightning, but this time full art and a different one, the Knight of Etro. It has haste, and when lightning enters the field or attacks, choose one forward opponent controls. If you control a category for 13 character, which is this, other than lightning, dull it. Discard one card named Lightning, remove Lightning from the game. Then play Lightning onto the field, dull. And of course we get the non-full art. Then we have another Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift. We have Ilua. It has haste, and during each turn, when Ilua is chosen by your opponent's summon or ability for the first time in that turn, cancel its effect. Ooh, nice. And Shoal for S. Activate all the forwards you control. They gain haste until the end of the turn, and all the forwards opponent controls lose 2k power until the end of the turn. 3 of her. Red Mage for Final Fantasy 3, a backup. For one lightning crystal and dull, choose one forward, it gains haste till the end of the turn. Cannoneer, backup, also for Tactics A2. For one crystal and dull, put Cannoneer into the break zone, choose one blocking forward, it loses 3k power until the end of the turn. And finally, our last card here is also a summon, just like the last deck, and it's Ramuh. From Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia. EX Burst, choose one forward, it loses 7k power until the end of the turn, and if Ramuh results from an EX Burst, it loses 8k power until the end of the turn instead. So there we have it. Final Fantasy 3. The epic clash between the Onion Knight and the Cloud of Darkness. Very nice. Can't wait for my next deck to arrive, which is the custom deck, the custom starter deck for Final Fantasy X. Beautiful. So, see you all then. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.